Okay. I'll give it a minute for people to get in here. So if you're just getting in here, I'm going to wait a few minutes, probably like 3 or 4, and then we'll get started. While we're waiting though, let me know what the sound is like, what the image is like, the video. As far as like lag and stuff like that, I did 2 stupid things. One, I didn't unpack the bulbs. I got one bulb I'm working with right here for the lighting setup, and I didn't even think about it till right now when I went to turn on the light. I was like, oh, I took out the bulbs to move, so they're in a box somewhere. I gotta hunt them down tomorrow. And the other stupid thing I did was wait, what was the other stupid thing? The bulbs? What was the other thing? Oh, now I forget. There was something else stupid. Oh yeah, the internet. I was gonna hardwire into the box, but I wasn't thinking, and I set it up in the living room, and then I was like, I gotta set up the main unit behind the computer so I can hardwire it, and then have the secondary one for the TV in the living room. I wasn't thinking, so tomorrow I'll switch that around, and then I'll fix the light. And then behind me, there's no shelf. I don't know if I'm gonna do the shelf display like I did. 90% I think I'm gonna, like last time. But behind me, you see the shelf stuff on the ground, and that's because right there, I don't know what I was thinking. I put everything in order when I packed, and I remember being very busy trying to get the shelf unit down, and I think I took the sandwich bag full of bolts and I just chucked them in a random box. So I have no idea where they are. So now I got to go hunt down the random box of bolts. So my back is killing me today, so if you see me stretching it weird, that's why. Anyway, let's pop out the chat. We got a good 40-50 people in here right now. All right, let's look. Tomorrow I'm going to try to do a behind the scenes video and show you guys, because I think this is wild how the bay and even the paint, I think it's almost identical. I know the bay window is identical to the last apartment, and I think the paint is, if it's not identical, it is a shade off. It's just like it. So it's real neat, because how I have it now, it's kind of at an angle compared to how it was before it was straight on. So if I turn the table and turn the camera, like if I turn this camera a little bit, you guys will be able to see it looks like the old setup. It is identical. But then once I well, I don't think I can mess up the camera. I don't think you guys can see it. But here's the living room. You know what I mean? Before it was in a bedroom. That was where the office was. I know I'm going to screw this up, so let me leave it alone. Tomorrow I'll do the behind the scenes. But yeah, it's wild, because if I set it up and didn't say anything, no one would even tell I moved, really. You know what I'm saying? Because it is that identical. Anyway, we got a bunch of people in here. Yeah, 70 people. Okay, so what I want to do is, in a minute, we're going to go into questions, and I'm going to read some of this to make sure we are good to go. But we're going to go over some questions for The Walking Dead and anything else you guys want to discuss. I'm going to try to do like a free-for-all, but I want to keep it Walker Withdrawal Wednesday. I want to keep with that theme, because it's been a few days. Fear the Walking Dead is right around the corner. The new Walking Dead comic comes out next Wednesday. Here's Negan just dropped today, so I do want to talk about a lot of things with The Walking Dead, but if there's anything else interesting, let me know. Put Q&A if you were specifically, you want to ask something to me for the live stream. Put Q&A first thing in your comment. I'm going to scroll down and find as many of those as possible. And the reason I say that is because what I notice is a lot of people are starting to talk to each other as well as talking with me, and I see the @ symbol where they're trying to talk to other members in the room, and again, that is awesome. I love when everyone's interactive. It makes it feel like a community, you know. I'll see that @ symbol, and because I'm trying to read every comment, and I just start reading other people's shit while they're trying to talk to each other. So remember, Q&A, very first thing in your sentence. And let's go. Let me just skim through some of these. Nice and crisp. The moves, yeah, the moves sucked. No, I did not play the finale in Telltale Games. Good. Looks good. So, Gomorrah, I never even heard of that show yet. I haven't even rested yet, so but I'm definitely gonna get some rest soon. It looks like everyone who's commented so far talking about the quality, it looks like we're good to go. So get started with those questions. I'm going to start scrolling down. There's a couple long ones. I want to, what is this? Ideal ending of All Out War. No, I would hate adding the Whispers to All Out War. I don't know where that came from, Mr. Rick Grimes, but I hate that idea. No, I hate it. If they do it, I'll tell you right now, they hate it. Listen, a lot of things like first impression thoughts, I'll say either I love it, I hate it. There's a way for them to do it and for it to actually come out well. You know, for me to love it when I thought I would hate it. So you can do it. There's a good and creative way to do pretty much anything. But as of right now, that's one of those rough ones where to add the Whispers right now would be like adding Negan during the Governor. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with the Governor, why the hell would you want to just toss in Negan? You know what I'm saying? Do the Governor's story and enjoy that part of the story. Why in the world would you want to just say, you know, I don't know. When we talk about condensing some of the, not condensing, but when we talk about essentially being impatient is the way I look at it. No, I want to have the war, skip time, you know, I want to see them living in the world they've been fighting to live for. This is all they've been fighting for, is to live in a peaceful community with a little sense of normalcy, you know what I mean? And I want to see that, and then I want to see something creep in, like this dark, you know, vibe creep into that world that they've built. I think that would have been awesome. How to use a brain. All right, let's go down, find some Q&As. There's a bunch in here, so let's see. I don't know what a Discord is. Somebody said a fan made a Discord. I have no idea what that is, but I see people talking about it, but I'll have to look it up. Plot twist and Supreme Bow. Yeah, notice how Negan's scar is from barbed wire. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, July is going to be good with the San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, you get the new trailer for The Walking Dead Season 8. You get the new collectibles they're going to announce. At this point in time, I mean, shit, we might not even hear what the new Season 7, you know, box set is going to be until San Diego. Dingo Destroyer. I think eventually he's just going to have to be blocked because we'll put him in timeout. That's a name we put in timeout a number of times. So Dingo Destroyer. I don't care if people want to have fun, but it's every time we do a live stream, I'm finding out you're just putting stupid shit. And it's clogging the feed. That's all. Other than that, I don't care what the hell you guys want to talk about. Ronnie, you're going to review The Leftovers? Probably not. I'll do a series review because I do want to give my thoughts about the overall series. I know somebody did post screenshots and did mention something about, remember when I talked about the boat? It looked like they were, oh, what the hell did it looks like they are taking wood off of a building and using it to build a boat. And I made a comment about them, that was a house that they are in the middle of building, and that house would be the house. I got to go back and look at what gave me that idea, but I don't analyze The Leftovers right now. I watch it once through, first opinions, I shit them out, and that's it. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. Like when I talked about that stuff they're doing with the girl, unless they're doing something retarded, The girl's definitely supposed to be aged. I mean, unless that's a wig, maybe I do need to watch it again because it looked like they had her aged, Kevin's girlfriend. So, and that's the point where I don't want to get into it for people who ain't watching and who want to go watch, but we'll see. Brandon, but yeah, I will talk about the season. Do you think Gregory will die in season 8 of The Walking Dead? No, I don't think so. Julia Daniels, yes, I am single. That is by choice, absolutely. My daughter's getting older now. I don't bring any chicks around her. It just, I don't know. It's a thing I got. On top of that, I'm trying to start a business too, and relationships is just too much. And at this point in time, I'm way too selfish to ever bog down another person with time. Like, I would never have any time to chill with them. So it's not going to work right now. It just won't. Caleb, and I will be the most shitty boyfriend in the world at this point in time. Caleb Anderson, do you think it was a mistake killing off Abraham? Partially, yeah. I don't think it was 100% a mistake, because the reason I would want him kept on the show is to kill him off later anyway. But I do think it was a little bit of a mistake. Z hear me out. Did I say that right? Ronnie, have you played or will you play the Walking Dead game? Yes, I will play the game. Definitely. What did you think of the story for Logan? Loved it. Would you prefer Negan backstory episode during All Out War or the Whisper War? I would prefer it during the Whisper War 100%. Tariq Thompson, what would be the ideal amount of seasons for The Walking Dead? Ideal amount, I don't believe in an ideal amount. It depends on how much ground they cover. It depends on what ending they want for the show as opposed to the comic. The comic and the show, I think a lot of comic fans need to really grasp this reality. The comic and the show is extremely different, especially when it comes to how you're going to end it. The show needs to eventually lead towards a specific ending for multiple reasons, especially because they're dealing with real people age, real people have different things going on with their lives. You have a whole bunch of different things going on. With the comic book, it couldn't go for another 10 or 20 years. The show can't. An actor will not do it for 30 years. You're not going to do that. So it's extremely different. It's not even realistic to want to end them, this, unless you're going to end the comic too, you know what I mean, relatively soon. So I don't think there's an ideal amount of seasons. It all depends on what type of ending. Right now I'm shooting for 12 or 13 would be a nice solid guess, in my opinion. What do we got? Filmmaker wannabe. Do the good reviews or season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead heighten your interests or make you a little more hopeful? I haven't seen any reviews at all of season 3. Are they even out? I haven't seen any at all. If you guys saw something where someone posted a review, let me know, but I haven't heard of any. I know that I've seen quotes, you know what I mean, but those are quotes from former seasons, and people put them, like the quotes they take from other magazines, those are what they said in the past, and they just put it towards the new season, if that's what you mean. But maybe there are reviews and I just haven't seen that they're out there. Are you interested in writing a book or something to do with zombies? Yeah. Doomsday Kingdom, we are, now that I got the move done, I totally forgot I was supposed to send page 3 for the past 2 days now to the artist. I was just getting behind getting everything set up. And the only reason I didn't send it to him is because I need a blueprint of the house to show him where people move. And it was on the computer, and I needed to get that up and running to send him that, and yada, yada, yada. So anyway, yeah, I do have one called Doomsday Kingdom. It's a little bit different, though. It's not just like waking up in the world of the undead, the zombie virus, and I really hate how this sounds, but it's essentially weaponized, you know what I mean, to... it has to deal with the population. Let's say there's too much people, you know, they need to dun-dun-dun-dun. That's the idea, but that sounds like a B-rate bullshit movie. But if you see it, because there's a lot of really different shit going on, and I tried to ground it into reality as much as possible because that's the entertainment I love the most. My all-time favorite, you know, Wolverine anything, Logan, because it's grounded in reality compared to anything else. Yeah, that's what I love. So, but yeah, I am writing a comic. Doomsday Kingdom. More coming really, really soon. Brett Reed. Hey Ronnie, I have a question. If Andrea was still around, how much would the story have changed with Michonne and Rick? If Andrea was around still, I feel like the story would have completely changed, and they most likely would have went with the comic, Rick and Andrea. Reflection Z. How do you think here Negan series will end? Well, we're already at the end. Listen, there's only 8 more pages unless they changed it again. There's only 8 more pages, and the only thing left to do is to create the saviors, not create, but establish, like, officially. Right now they might be the foundation, but officially establish and then find the factory. Other than that, there's not enough room unless they hurt the story by skipping too much in the panels. There's not enough story to connect it with Rick and gang. You know what I mean? Jackie Rockefeller. Ronnie, what are your thoughts on Gregory and Jesus? What's the story there? I don't know what you mean. Like the previous story between them, they were just 2 people who ran into each other and needed to survive. That's it. I don't think they're buddies. I don't think they're enemies. They might not like each other because one sees, Jesus as a thorn who's always, second guessing his judgments, and Jesus sees him as a coward. So it's kind of like a marriage of convenience and circumstance, that they're just chilling together. Merman, do you think they are going to do a throwback or homage to an earlier season in the 100th episode? Merman, you're either reading spoilers or someone is telling you spoilers, so we're going to move on. Yeah, that is. Then it's minor ones. I'm just giving you a hint wherever you got that from, or maybe it's a coincidence and you thought it up your own, but wherever you got that from, if you did get it from somewhere, leave that source because they are feeding you spoilers. What do we got here? A channel. Will we see Negan playing ping pong? And I don't think that matters. I mean, it's possible. It's likely if they do have a mini scene like that. By the way, Savior's Ping Pong Club. If we do have a mini scene like that in the flashback or the backstory, it's just something small where there's a ping pong table at the factory and Negan sets it up, Hey Ronnie, how many seasons do you think Fear the Walking Dead can get? Well, seeing that AMC is definitely ready to ride this out, I think Fear the Walking Dead could get 8 seasons. It's easy, and that's twice as much as I would have thought normally, because Fear the Walking Dead, even on a bad day, they're still doing better than most things AMC creates originally. You know what I mean? So I think it depends on how much profit is coming in. You know what I mean? I think they will. I think they'll honestly bleed it dry. Yeah. But if it crumbles, listen. I feel like with Fear the Walking Dead, if season 3 is not rock solid, and it might not be, there might be honest fears that it's not, because we got an announcement. Season 3's coming out. We get this awkward, and it was awkward timing. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm stupid and it's not. Maybe it's, fine. But all of a sudden, season 3's coming out, and we get the news that the showrunner's gone. Right? Now the showrunner's gone. They mentioned someone that's familiar, Scott Gimple. He's coming in to executive produce. They got these other 2 showrunners. They're going to handle season 4 on. I truly feel like if season 3 bombed out, and they might be afraid that it's a little weak, so that's why they announced the news. That way we go, season 3's weak, sure, but season 4 might be really good because Scott Gimple and yada yada yada. So I think there's definitely some concerns there, and I agree with that, because this show, Fear the Walking Dead, gets what, 2 million, 3 million viewers, when it definitely should have no problem pulling in 5, easy. I once said 10, but with The Walking Dead having problems with its viewers, I strongly believe a lot of that has to do with fatigue and people watching later on. But the most has to do with the biggest complaint of all, and I don't care who's sick of hearing it. It is the biggest complaint. It's probably the single biggest complaint in season 7, the split storytelling. It's just not liked by the masses. But anyway, I think Fear the Walking Dead will probably run longer than a lot of people want it to. Hopefully they can turn it around with 4, and maybe it'll even, get really good in 4 and 5. You know, I'm hoping it gets good now though. I want to sink my teeth into it. Philip come B. Sorry. Do you think the 100th episode will be a flash forward to a battle at Sanctuary? Then the episode following will continue right after the season 7 finale. Wait, right? I think it is definitely possible to do a flash forward. Considering they said it's going to start out intense, I think it has to be a battle. It doesn't have to be a flash forward though. They can skip a little bit of time. Like, think about it. Storytelling wise, what do we need to know is happening? If Rick and gang start off in season 8, episode 1, at the Sanctuary, ready to hit Negan before they mount the troops, we don't need to know anything in between, because we could put it together. Since last season, it's been a couple days. You know, Rick gathered all their army and they went and they made a plan. We can see them in the very beginning prepping the plan, drawing a map in dirt and being like, okay, you hit them here, we're going to bring the secret here, and this there. That's all we need to know. So I don't think they need to flash forward unless they do something where they're in the middle of some big battle and then they pull it out and they lead up to that. But there's got to be a reason for that, unless it's just giving the fans some action right away. So, you know, it's just moving shit around. Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy 2? No, I didn't. So I don't know what to tell you about it. I did like the first one though, definitely. What do you think of casting Alpha, Siddiq, and Dante for Season 8? Do you think that's too fast? Will it All Out War be? Well, I only follow AMC's official casting, so I didn't hear anything about casting Alpha, Siddiq, or Dante. I do know I heard two people, I don't know if you're talking about Siddiq and Dante, two people briefly someone mentioned, and the descriptions didn't sound a single solitary thing like them, but you could be talking about different castings. And then everyone's been talking about Maria Bello forever for Alpha. I think that's too soon. I think that is a stretch. She could be Alpha, definitely could. But think about how retarded it is for us to say, oh, that's got to be Alpha. You know, she came out and said, oh, my friends on the show, they're going to give me a role, and I don't care if it's, you know, one little split moment where I'm in the background or I'm a zombie. She says that, and all of a sudden we're like, wow, they're going to make her the next big bad, and we didn't even get through All Out War? I don't know. I find that a little ridiculous. But again, there's a chance she could be Alpha. I'll give it to you. But I just think it's, if it is, that's too rushed. TX7515. Instead of Fear the Walking Dead, what do you think about maybe 1 or 2 backstories during the off season? Do you agree Negan backstory could be something interesting for several episodes? Yes, I agree Negan's backstory could be interesting for several episodes, but that needs to be in the main season. That doesn't make any sense to make it a side shoot, you know what I mean? First off, we are in the minority of fans who follow it actively online. The majority don't follow it online. Like, my brother is in the majority. He goes to work, does shit with his family, plays a couple video games, watches The Walking Dead. That's it. He might read an article or two that pop up, watch a random video or two, you know, and I'm literally speaking a handful of videos, and that is it. But that is the masses. We are in the minority who we follow it, we talk about it. We are the hardcore, I call it active fans. I don't call it like the true fans, real fans. If you like the show, you watch the show, you're a fan, bottom line. But I call us the, you know, the active ones, online active or whatever. And as far as the masses knowing this is a side story, no, that's just that'll blow up in their faces. And that is honestly probably why it's never going to happen, and it needs to be in the full season. As far as taking away fear and giving us webisodes, I don't agree with that. Give us fear, but make it better, you know? Webisodes, they can do them too. They're doing them currently with the passages, which again I think is a waste of time. I didn't even watch that passages yet. I've been saying I'm going to watch it, but to be honest, I don't care. You know, they had that girl on the flight 160 or 460, whatever the fuck, and it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. She was on the show for a minute. She left the show, and if she comes back, which it's saying, I think they said she's going to come back. I don't even care at this point because I feel like they're only bringing her back because fans said, what was the point of that? You know, so I could care less. At this point, I just want her gone because I feel like she's only coming back because fans are annoyed that they hyped it up so much and said, this girl's going to join the cast. That's literally what they said, and it was a straight up lie, you know? It just felt like we can't include her in the story. You know, we don't know how, so let's have her leave. And no, she'll conveniently find her way back. Everyone else does. Kurt Cobain. Hey, Ronnie, how long do you think Andrew Lincoln would want to stay on the Walking Dead show? Andrew Lincoln, and here's the thing with actors. Andrew Lincoln, it's a risk to say, man, The Walking Dead made me popular. I'm going to go and do movies and all this shit. Look at Jax from Sons of Anarchy. Here's a dude who's hot as shit. Chicks love him. That's all I hear from bitches. He's so fucking hot, you know? When watching Sons, my girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, all of them just love him instantly. I'm like, what about me, babe? And she's like, oh, fuck, you know? Anyway, so you get this dude oozing with charisma. He's handsome as shit. Popular. I like him. I think he's talented. I think he's a good actor. He has weak moments, but he's still young yet, so he can definitely improve in that shit. He's in good shape. He shows that he's dedicated. He sounds like a cool and reasonable dude. He's definitely a lead. He led a TV series, you know? Then he goes to movies, and his movies are bombing. Now, he could be picking bad projects. I personally feel like he should stray away from projects that are, you know, him in these leads, and he should do a couple really crazy different supporting character moments. Show that he has range, show that he has those talents, and then take something that's not the generic next thing that this dude would want to take, you know? The movies that he's taking right now, his agent should get slapped for it. Who's ever managing his career, they should get, you know, a jump kick in the face. Totally the wrong direction. And from what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if the stats went any higher, but his movies bombed. Andrew Lincoln, let's back this up a moment. His fan base, his fans are huge right now. He could say, well, you know, I'll go into movies, da-da-da-da. He could do a few movies and bomb. And then since he left The Walking Dead, the movies bomb. No one calls him for any roles. Maybe he gets some small roles. Next thing you know, he wishes he never left The Walking Dead. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying those are real fears that actors face going from different projects. Now, Charlie left Sons of Anarchy because obviously it was ending and yada, yada, yada. So he's younger yet too, and he's talented enough where he could turn it around. You know what I mean? Society's always looking for the heartthrob, the new, you know, Tom Cruise, someone who they're in a movie and they know it's going to pull in some revenue. You know what I mean? So he could definitely turn it around. Andrew Lincoln might realize, you know what? I can do this for 5 more years and still pull in the movies later. I can do this for, you know, 7 more years. Let's see, would it be? Yeah, let's say a good 5 to 7 years and still pull in the movies afterwards. As long as the story is good, you will fight the fatigue. But they need to refresh the story with the Whisperer War. With the Whisperers. I hear a lot of people talking about fans getting sick by then, and I disagree. I think if they keep the same vibe and tone, and they don't do a dramatic change, I think strongly fans will get fatigue. Absolutely, it will no longer become hot. It'll become old news, out of style, whatever you want to call it. And I think the end of all that war is the big hurrah, the big war, the big battle. And then at that moment, they need to take a serious risk and do a refresher, change it all. Even change the logo. And that's not a big thing, but I even love the idea of how in the comic book, the whole world changed and also the cover changed. It was probably one of the smallest, and I don't think they did it on purpose. Maybe they did. And I think if they did do it on purpose, it was just sheer genius. I know a lot of fans didn't like it because they like, you know, the old stuff better, but sheer genius. The inside, the world of The Walking Dead changed, and even the damn cover changed. the size and the style of the logo. Yeah, that was just perfection, in my opinion. I think they need that for the show. Make it feel like you're coming back for season 9, right? And then you start it and you were like, whoa, this feels like I just started watching something fresh and interesting. Like, this is a whole new experience, you know? I think that's what they need for season 9. Where are we at? Because I just went rambling. Rick and Andrea or Rick and Michonne. I don't care. Either or, it doesn't matter. I like them both. Zahir me out. Ronnie, if the apocalypse started right now and you could pick 3 characters from the Walking Dead universe, I don't care. Daryl, Ronnie, are you still getting munch packs? I love that. Yeah, but I didn't put them up. I don't know if they're still sending it to us. I got like 2 videos I haven't had time to edit and put up yet. I don't mean to be a dick, Zahir. I'm horrible at those. Like, when I started the Facebook, the MAPP fan family, the very first rule was no trivia, because I've been in multiple groups over the past few years, and one thing that kills it for me and a whole handful of others, and we end up leaving the groups, when you see nonstop posts where people are like, and I get so frustrated because these are the most popular Facebook posts and it drives me nuts. People go, look to your left, that's your weapon. You know, what weapon do you have? Shit like that. I hate it because, you know, if I'm in a group, I just want to talk about something. I want to have a conversation. I don't want to just, you know? So, yeah, I don't pick any random 3 characters. I'm good with that. I'm doing good. Who asked that? The thing moved now. Alright, let's see. Let's scroll back up. Pacific. Ronnie, what would be the best way for the TV show to do Negan's backstory, such as bits and pieces throughout a few episodes, or all as one of those dreaded bottle episodes? Negan's backstory is so interesting they can get away with a bottle episode, but I personally think it would go over a lot better with introducing some of where Negan would be at, you guys know what I'm talking about, with bits and pieces of flashbacks. I think that would be the best, sprinkled in. Wait, I'm looking for questions. Oh, okay, people are talking to each other. Yeah, again, if you're new here and I skip your question, like I'm going down in a row and then I skip a bunch, that's because for whatever reason it won't let you scroll down smooth. It'll scroll down smooth, and then I guess if you get close to the bottom, it skips like 40 or 50 questions. Man, YouTube needs to fix that. Like, bad. They should just let you scroll up and down to the best you want, you know? Whatever, I don't know. It's frustrating. Hey Ronnie, will we see the Whisperers in the second half of season 8? Will there be an epic? I hope we don't. At this point in time, I hope we don't. Are you still using the same P.O. box? Yeah, the P.O. box didn't change. Yeah, the P.O. box, no change whatsoever. How would you feel about the Telltale series being translated into a mini TV series? I'd love to see Lee and Clem brought to life. That would be tricky because obviously kids age really quickly. So I would be absolutely against it 110 million% unless they can do season 1 and 2 back to back, almost back to back, but not release them on time. That way you can have a Clementine who doesn't age as quickly, and then wait, you know, have that wait period and do a time skip, and now you have an actor who actually has a visual change with how she grew up. As far as that, that's just a pipe dream, though, because AMC would have to buy those rights off of Skybound and Telltale. I don't know how that's split, but they would need to buy the rights to the film rights, you know, the TV, movie, whatever rights. And I don't think that's ever going to happen right now. Maybe if they want to do it down the line and expand the universe, that's a possibility, but look at it right now. AMC owns the rights to make TV show for The Walking Dead, the rights to make a TV show, right? Why don't they just do that? You know what I mean? They would get a lot of the fan base from the game, but there's probably just the same amount of people, if not maybe a little bigger, that's fans of the show. You know, I got to look it up and see how many copies of the game, you know, sold, but they'd probably do just the same in their opinion, their stats, or at least it would be pretty damn close. You know what I mean? Hey Ronnie, recently watched a video on theories how The Walking Dead could end, and one was the walkers would get fragile and weak and die off, and the big war between humans and dots. No, that's ridiculous. This is a show with zombies. They're just going to keep giving us zombies. If you're talking about the movie theory, I think that video, the video is extremely flawed because they totally leave out the fact that the virus preserves the body to some degree, so you can't just use the numbers, the math on how quickly a human body deteriorates if that's not even, you know, the right numbers. That's like, you know, you have to do math using only the number 10 and they give you the number 20. Your answer is going to be wrong no matter what you do from the start. One, I disagree with the video. I think it would be longer because it preserves it, and two, I don't think that matters. That's such a trivial thing for a world filled with zombies. It doesn't matter at all, and I don't think it'll ever play into the story. King's 101. Maybe in the comic after a long time, sure. Hey, Ronnie, wait. Why doesn't Negan talk down to Simon like the rest of the Saviors? Were they best friends before the apocalypse? I think Simon gets him. Picture a moment where Simon wasn't the perfect right-hand man. You know what I mean? If Simon did something stupid, you know, I think he would talk shit on him. But I don't think he hates Simon like he hates Dwight. There's something different about Dwight. Or maybe he wants to pick on him and this, that, and a third, you know? Synthscope. Since Enid is being promoted as regular, do you think they are pulling some love triangle between Carl? No, I do not. Filmmaker, actress, Emma something from Buffy Vampire Slayer was announced months ago as to be a cast member for season 3 of Fear of the Walking Dead, but her role is still unspecified. Do you think she has a special part? No, not at all. I don't know who that actress is, and we're getting a whole new cast of we're getting a whole new community. So at this point in time, I think it's just something regular. You know what I mean? Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Ronnie, will we see the Whispers in the second half? Oh wait, you asked that already. Hey Ronnie, you excited about Preacher Season 2? Yeah. Thoughts on Season 1? I did a bunch of videos on Season 1. No, I did not read the comics. I started to, but I gave up. I'm excited for Season 2, absolutely. Where are we at? How did I miss that? Oh, we got a super chat. Bailey. Love your videos, Ronnie. Also, can't wait for MAPP merchandise. That is awesome. You don't have to wait. Actually, in the video description, you'll see a link to the Redbubble MAPP merchandise. I'm also going to put a bunch more on there. I know some people say you're only supposed to do a couple designs. That's the gimmick. The gimmick is you put a couple designs and it gives the consumer less options. And I understand it completely. I think, you know, it is truthful. But the idea is if you give them 2 or 3 designs, it's easy to pick. But if you throw them 20, 30, 40 different designs, you know, they'll be like, oh my God, I don't know. You know what I mean? And they get frustrated or annoyed and they just don't pick any. I think that's just, it might be true, but it's ridiculous. I was looking at if I'm the person who wants to get it, you know, as a viewer, I would want 10 designs to choose from instead of 2, you know? So I'm doing some for MAPP. I'm doing some for Doomsday Kingdom. Thank you very much for the super chat, your support, and everyone else on Patreon and watching, sharing, spreading the word of mouth. Definitely keeping this channel alive. Absolutely. Since the ad boycott is still a reality. But yeah, the MAPP merch for anyone who's interested. I'm going to be getting a shirt to show you, a shirt, a sticker, and something else. What was it? There was something else. I'll show you when I get it. But I'm going to get a Doomsday Kingdom and then a MAPP. So you guys can check it out and I'll show you the quality. Alright, what do we got here? Kurt Cobain, do you think it would be more heartbreaking if Glenn was pulled to the front and had a few seconds to look around before he died? Yeah, I think it would be. I think in a way, I prefer the heartbreaking aspect more than the surprise and shock. I feel like if the comic wasn't a thing, they definitely would have went with the heartbreaking aspect. And I also feel like Abraham died in a way, partially, it was to provide that shock. You know, Abraham died. Okay, everyone's safe. Nope, surprise, Glenn was the shocker, you know? And in a way, that did keep it true to the comic. It kept it true to the story and what should have happened. I mean, he should have died, you know? So, Mud, do you know who the dude is? No, I do not. Are you talking about that movie, you know what I mean? The dude? Glenda Dawn, why don't you live on Facebook? I don't know. I mean, I started on YouTube with the channel, so if I'm going to go live at either one, it's going to be YouTube first. Facebook, I did do a few lives in the MAPP, you know, fan group, whatever thingy, but there's more people that watch on here than would watch the Facebook group. I'll jump on not even the Facebook group. I think you're just talking about live on Facebook in general. And I think there's only like 1,000 people that follow the Facebook group. So you have, you know, I don't know. I don't think you would get as much traffic. I could check it out if that's something people are interested in. I've never had anyone ask to go live just on regular Facebook. In the group is different. Blake Calhoun, do you think the new scavenger group will still be around in the Whisperer story? Some of them, sure. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey, Ronnie, what if Thomas Jane was cast as Rick Grimes? Would it have been better than Andrew Lincoln? No. I love Thomas Jane, but he doesn't have the same range needed for, you know, he would have done good. I feel that, but I don't think he has the same range, the same charisma as Andrew Lincoln. So, no, I don't agree with that at all. No, I don't think it would have been better, is what I mean. Which character on a TV series do you think had the biggest redemption personality arc? Redeemable personality. Redeemable, you mean as far as like traitors and stuff? Probably Father Gabriel. But I mean, it's not really, it's nothing deep, you know what I mean? Well, Tara is probably a #1 pick, because for crying out loud, yeah, Tara, she was, you know, with the enemy, the governor, and it was an iconic villain in the comic book. So, off the top of my head, I'd have to pick Tara. I think a lot of fans would probably pick her. Don't you think AMC should have waited until The Walking Dead ended to have Fear the Walking Dead come out? No. Why would you wait to make money, you know? Instead of going to work tomorrow, would you go to work, you know, in a week from now? No, at all. AMC is a money-making machine. It's a business. And I think the best thing to do is to bring people who are passionate about the storytelling, and you want to make the money, leave the creativity up to them. I think that's the best way to run anything. So with AMC, you know, they need the money. They need the money, they need to grow, and that is the business of it. So it wouldn't make any sense to wait years, potentially. You know, AMC, if they're serious about going 20 years with The Walking Dead, that means they're going to wait over a decade to do Fear the Walking Dead. That is just not realistic for a business. Sweet tea connoisseur? No. I just grab the super sweet and that's it. Off topic, but have you watched the Netflix series Black Mirror? No. A lot of people talk about that, but I haven't tried it. Thoughts, not zombies, but Twilight Zone tales of the dark side in the near future. Yeah, some people talk about it being like, I don't know, with a cell phone and they know everything. It's funny you say that, because that's how someone else explained it, was, you know, a weird government monitoring everything you do type thing. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to check it out, but what was it? House of Cards just came back, so I got to watch that. Season 5 on Netflix. And Bloodline, the final season. I can't wait for that. Bradley, hey Ronnie, when do you think we will see the Whispers? I was thinking mid-season finale of season 9. What are your thoughts? Well, that's tough. You mean see them or them enter the story? Because they will enter the story if they do it the way it should be done, with the dropping hints and the creepiness. We should hear of them. We should have this creepy, mysterious, just dark cloud come and loom over the characters for at least a full episode, maybe 2, before we get some type of reveal. At the very least, you know what I mean, 2 episodes, 3 episodes, So I'm guessing well before the mid-season finale, you know? If we get the new beginning in the very beginning of season 9, episode 1, yeah, there's no way we're going to wait till the mid-season to see the Whispers unless they're planning something long. Because think about this, you know, we take the whole, you know, 8 episodes building up to this community is here. You know, we hear lingering commotion about such and such, some creepy stuff, and then boom, here they are, let's go to war. I don't know, I think that's a bit much, unless you mean push the war into season 10. You know what? That is something I want to discuss in a video next time. Let's discuss it real quick. Think about this so we could talk about it in a different video. I can't believe this just punched my brain. I just can't believe I didn't think of this before. In the comic book, it was over a year. No, it was years later. 3 years, our time. Maybe not 3 years, but yeah, 2 years, 3 years, something like that, where we got All Out War, right? Then All Out War ends. Then at least 2 years go by. 2 years our time. Someone do the math and tell me real quick. And then we go into another war. But with the Whisperers, and this is another thing about people thinking they're going to rush the Whisperers so soon, we get All Out War in season 8, and then the Whisperers and the Whisperer War in season 9. I don't know if that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Unless they really tweak it and make it feel real different. In the comic book, it doesn't really matter. You can get a little feeling, a little sense of All Out War, but you know, in the show, it will be different. It'll be a combination of All Out War mixed with some of No Way Out. You know what I mean? In the I don't know. You guys let me know. That's really interesting. I don't even know why I didn't think of it before, but yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. Do you think Negan will gain redemption in the TV show by showing the audience that he's reasoning behind Lucille's Vix? No, I don't think it'll be complete redemption. Like for me, you're not going to redeem Negan. You know, never. And I love Negan. I'm starting a Lucille shrine over there. And I got the Negan statue. He's one of my favorite characters because he's interesting. But there's no redemption for killing Glenn. There's no redemption. Even his backstory, it didn't even begin to redeem him for killing Glenn. You know what I mean? So you'll have fans that do redeem him. And then you'll have fans that don't redeem him. And then you'll have fans like me where... you know, I get it. I see it. I'm still never going to, you know, it's not going to be total redemption for killing Glenn, but I can deal with him working alongside of shit with the good guys and not, you know, scream and yell and want him dead. I'm good with that. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, no politics here. That might be an old one, but... Let's see here. Elisa, did I say that right? Elisa Jet. Massive thank you for the support with the super chat. Anyone else? I don't know if Elisa knows. Maybe you don't care. I don't want to put you on the spot, but with the super chat, you can also put down a little comment. You probably know. I mean, it pops up, right? Someone else. The only reason I bring that up is because someone did it real fast. And then they weren't able to do a comment. And then I saw down the line they had wrote another comment being like, you know, I messed something up. It didn't go. So here's the comment. But huge thank you for the super chat support. Elisa, let me know if I said that right. I feel like I'm reading it and saying it. Two totally different things. Tariq, hey Ronnie, when do you think would be the best time to kill off Daryl? All Out War's a good time. Season 9 would be a good time. Hey Ronnie, you never give up, man. Extreme props are going on strong. Any chance of shoot the shit style videos, vlogs again? Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have some behind the scenes. I was thinking about just calling them the whoop-de-whoops. I tried doing it a while before, but I think doing the whoop-de-whoops, but instead before I still sat in the same spot where I did all the other videos. So I was thinking of I wanted to do the behind the scenes, maybe the updates. I wanted to kind of combine some of those and then combine them into the Whoop-de-Whoops, where it would have behind the scenes, any vlog type videos, anything I wanted to get out that wasn't a specific video. Maybe it could be a multiple different things, and then combine them under just that, the Whoop-de-Whoop. Show off some things. Like sometimes I'll either pick up something or run into, like I grabbed a Logan Steel book. I got it on a steal. You know, I think it was what, $21.99 or some shit like that. And it's where everyone in a 250-mile radius was sold out that day. You know what I mean? First thing in the morning. And a couple days later, when everyone else is selling their shit on eBay for $50, $60, $70, I scooped one up. And like shit like that. Like if I was doing a video talking about different things, I could be like, oh shit, I got the steel book, check it out. I would throw it in a Whoop-de-Whoop. So we'll see shooting the shit style. And I'll just combine it, you know, mix it up a little bit. Garcia, hey Ronnie, do you think Father Gabriel is going to do some badass stuff next season? I'd like to see him as a badass priest type character. I already think he's a badass priest type character, especially after that season 6 raid of the Outpost. Sav, if you absolutely had to pick a character from Fear the Walking Dead to appear on the main show, which character would it be? None, motherfucker. I wouldn't absolutely pick any of them. Danny Salazar, he'd be the only one. He would be the only one I would pick and put on that show if you put a gun to my head and say I had to choose. Garcia also asked, what happened to scoring the Walking Dead episodes? They just disappeared. That was because I went from one computer to the next, didn't have the all the templates and shit, all the images transferred over. I just didn't do it, and then I just kept with not doing it because I didn't want to, you know, not do it and then bring it back. And then anytime you change one little thing, it's, I don't know, it gets all mixed up. So I just said, you know what, no. Ace CDC, I love your visions of the future. Absolutely. Do you think we will get a main character in the death in The Walking Dead Super Season 8? If so, who? Wait, main character death in The Walking Dead Season 8. If so, who? I'm going to have my Season 8 video up in a little bit. The U.S. government has a plan for zombie apocalypse. Do you think it would work? No, not at all. Melanie. Wait, what? Oh, Ron, do you think Dwight will die in the upcoming issues? I hope not. At this point in time, I don't think so. Hey, Ronnie, do you think Father Gabriel's going to do some badass stuff? Wait, I know that's definitely a repeat. How did I find that? Rob G. With the new Walking Dead issue maybe being on the road, do you think it would be cool if they took a scene from The Last of Us where they have guys act like they get hurt to get the survivors to stop? No, I don't. I think it would be cool if they did something unique and original. The Elite. What didn't you like about Preacher Comics, considering there's some sort... Wait, considering they are some of the best? I didn't like it because I didn't read it. Yeah, I didn't not like it. That's not at all what I said. Or maybe I need to go back and hear what I said. Maybe I said that on accident, but I'm almost pretty positive that I didn't say I didn't like it. I just honestly didn't read it. I read the one they give you for free that takes the Preacher story, condenses it, and does like a prequel style. Do you know what I mean? It was for the show. And it didn't grab me enough to want to read the comic. Tons of people say it's one of the best, you know, and that's absolutely awesome. One day I'll get there, you know. I don't have any motivation to do it right now. I feel like I got this much on my plate that I would rather do instead. In 10 years, I might read it and be like, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever read, you know. But as of right now, I just don't have the motivation to go read it. Same thing with, there's like Game of Thrones. Like, I'm real interested to read the book and see what that story feels like. But that's not going to happen for a few years. I just know it's not. Maybe 10 years, you know. I might be old when I read that shit. I just don't have any motivation to read it right now. Crimson Voodsod. Is it just me, or did it look like Negan got bit in the arm through his leather jacket in the comics? Yeah. Wait, I think he did. Wait, after he hits Beta. I think didn't Negan get bit in the backstory? In the leather, you know what I mean? Which is something, this is something that I did immediately in my comic, which is Doomsday Kingdom, is the Rider has a rawhide leather outfit. And I told the preview of this, so if anyone's new, one of the main things is he gets surrounded and he's going to shoot at somebody, and he's all surrounded. He's in the middle of battling these zombies and shit, and he goes to shoot at somebody, and just as he's about to pull the trigger, a zombie latches on his arm. So he has to hold it still for just a few seconds just to get that shot right, and then he takes the shot, and then another one latches on. Well, at this point in time, one latched on his arm, one latched on his leg. It was all at the same time type shit. And that was something I wanted to play heavily in my comic because it's something that I always thought was missing. That really close to the edge shit where, you're getting shit bit and it's oh my god, it's like just a hair off. I know they did it in the Walking Dead comic in the very first, probably the very second issue, third issue, something like that, where he gets bit on the jacket and it's like, oh, you're lucky you got bit on the jacket. But they don't do it as much. Like on the show, I think it'd be awesome to have Daryl or even Negan or Rick, they're making their way, like when Daryl was making his way out of that thing where Beth got the funeral house. He's making his way out. He's knocking zombies over. He runs into this to hit it with his shoulder. Gets bit on his leather jacket vest, punches one over. He's got another one biting on him, but do it in a way where it's happening. And one of these bites, you're just so worried that one of them's going to connect in that moment, but have it nice and in close. They've been doing a little more of that with Rick getting real close to the zombies and then push them away. They've been doing more, but I don't know. There's something about that where I just feel, because it would be painful, it would be wildly painful. Sometimes you might even get a bone broken. That's how hard they would bite, in real life, because I've heard stories of someone bit somebody in a fight or this, that, and the third, and they broke their fucking arm. You know what I mean? So maybe a fresh zombie at least. Anyway. Off topic, what are your thoughts on The Last of Us Chapter 2, and where do you think the story is going to go? Also, congrats on the move. Well, now that the move is over, we're going to go into some other different topics and stuff. The Last of Us is something I want to discuss, but just based off of the trailer, listen, I don't look into it. I want to get into The Last of Us knowing as little as possible. But just off the top of my head, and again, I try not to contemplate it too much because I don't want to get into spoiler territory. But I'm thinking, based off the last movie and this, the people who are friends of the girl in the very end, what was the girl's name? The chick who asked Joel and Tess to take Ellie to meet her at that complex. You know what I mean. Anyway, Marla, is that her name? Friends of hers, people of hers, because this is known. What they're doing is known. More Fireflies come to track down Ellie. Some really bad shit happens. Maybe Ellie got a new girlfriend, started a new life, some shit like that. Bad shit happens. Eventually people get killed, possibly in the very beginning of Last of Us 2. And then it's a revenge mission. But there also has to be like a specific something. That specific something is something that I'm missing. I don't know yet. So I feel like it has to have that revenge mission to fit with the trailer. But it's also missing something, And that's the thing that I just can't figure out right now. But I think it'll head in that way, What's your plan if the zombie apocalypse happens today? To tuck my head under my legs and kiss my own ass goodbye. Garcia, do you think some people with disabilities should be introduced in the show, like someone who is meteor deaf? Wait, just to add a little bit of reality to the show. Yeah, sure, you can add people in for reality. Raiders, they have some people with disabilities, but do you mean, like, there's a guy missing an arm, you know what I mean, at the Kingdom, or do you mean like a main character with a disability? Raiders cat, what is Scott Gimple doing with Heath and Sherry? Totally mystery for me. I'm wondering if you would have any thought on anything. Yeah, Heath will just come back around. Same thing with Sherry. Yeah, that's it. Simply put. Garrett Manahan. Ronnie, do you think season 9 finale will be issue 144 with Spike? No, I don't think so. I think that No, not at all. I don't know. I think that is way too far away. You're talking about Spikes. I'm thinking like season 9 mid-season finale. With Spikes. What's your plan? Wait, where are we at? But now I'm starting to think about the double war back to back. So now I'm like, I don't know. Elisa, Q&A. How will Whispers walk among skeletonized zombies? Whispers walk among those. They probably wouldn't. I mean, I think especially when they get the big herds, they'll probably stick with those, the ones that aren't skeletons. Once they mostly all become skeletons, which again, this is not a problem that they're gonna face in the world of The Walking Dead because Kirkman just won't do it. I don't think that'll ever come up in the story. Tyler Underwood. Hey pal, common question. How do you think Rick's character will change after what happened with Andrea? Do you think they can have it affect him in a new and interesting way? I think so. Maybe throw a little caution to the wind. Do something different with him, definitely. Do you think Negan will get his dun-dun-dun in the comics? If not, what do you think they will do instead? I think it's very similar. Again, I've talked about this numerous times at length, but keep that, do it a little different. Have Simon or someone else built up as the big bad reward for the villain that's defeated at the end of the war. That way you could go a different direction with Negan. Zafi. Will we see Jorah infect the Lannisters with grayscale? I don't know. It's possible. Doesn't that take too long, though? I mean, they could still fight. I mean, Jorah Mormont, he's still kicking ass and doing his shit. So that's kind of like saying, hey, are you going to get them sick now? And then it'll take them, to die. When do you do? Do you leave? I don't think they would die quick enough unless the Whites and the White Walkers and shit, they'll get there by the time they die from those. But it's possible. I don't know all that much about the lore, so maybe. In the future, do you think you would ever go to a Comic-Con and vlog it and give your opinions on it? Yes, definitely. I'm trying to set up stuff like that. Absolutely, definitely. Put it that way, for real. Definitely trying to do that. Where we got Crimson. Do you think Deanna is affiliated with the Ohio group? Seems how she is from Ohio, or is it? I don't know who Deanna is. Are you talking about Deanna from the show or a different Deanna? Deanna from the show. Now you're messing with me. I don't know who you're talking about. If you're talking about the show, that doesn't exist in the TV show, especially not yet. It may, definitely, but do you mean from Telltale Game? I haven't played it yet. Tariq, what is your favorite type of music? Whatever sounds good, in all honesty. I'm a soundtrack guy. Whatever sounds good. A whole mixture. Usually not country, though. Thomas, who do you think will survive the longest besides the Grimes trio? I have no clue. I really don't. Besides the Grimes trio, you can make it work with anyone surviving the longest. Pick Maggie. She's a good candidate, for surviving long. Are you excited to play the new Friday the 13th game? Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping in another week I'll be all caught up and I can play that. Well, I'm never going to be all caught up, but at least caught up enough to play a little bit. I know this is off topic, but what do you think about Lost? I love Lost. Well, I have a love and hate relationship with it. I loved it, but I'm still mad that it ended the way they promised years before it would never end. Vita Zen, what's one big lesson you took from writing/script studies you've had over the years? Take the biggest lesson, the most important, 100% most important, is to definitely never overlook, the tips and advice that the writers have, because all these writers have come and gone, and there's a whole well of knowledge. But in the same strength, never use that as a blueprint to do exactly. You know what I mean? Don't use that to paint by numbers, because that's what's making entertainment nowadays so fucking boring, predictable, and shit right now. Take the best of what they got to share, but at the same time, use that and turn it on its head and come up with something unique and refreshing. You know what I mean? Anyway, Garcia. Imagine a guy who can't speak and catches him knowing he has info you need but can't really get it out of him. And I'd like to see how he would get that information out. have him write it down on a piece of paper. Jay, 100. Do you think Rick is going to find out about the radio? Yeah, I think he's going to find out about that really soon. Here, Ronnie, if Glenn were still alive, how would you continue his story arc? I wouldn't. Glenn was meant to die 100%. Absolutely, at that point in time, there's no reason to keep his story going. Unless you would, get rid of Michonne, then he would just replace, not Michonne, get rid of Maggie, then he would most likely just replace Maggie. Yeah, but yeah, he was meant to die. Where are we at here? I think there is a little delay with the comments. Plus, I can't read them as fast as others are leaving them. Let's scroll down. What do you think makes The Walking Dead so much better than Fear? The characters, the story, absolutely. Even when, listen, yeah, the characters and the story. Put it that way. I think the characters are so hard to like because they're doing shit that is just so damn dumb. And season 1 is not what I'm talking about. It's season 2. Season 1, once you look past the expectations, because we were all expecting the downfall of society. This is the beginning, you know what I mean? And all we got was a brief look at the downfall of society, and then they threw us right into the world of The Walking Dead all over again. It's the same thing we got, you know what I mean? So with season 2, the characters do shit just for the script. That's it. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. Yeah, obviously a lot of characters do shit just for the script, but you could just take a character, random, Strand, 1 minute, I don't want to stay at this hotel, I don't want to help, this is not my home, blah, 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 fucking blah. Next thing you know, Strand stays at the hotel. You know what I mean? Nick, his whole family loves him. They do everything they want for him. Blah, 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 blah. And then later he leaves, and then he tells the other guy, thanks for caring, because no one else cared. But that's all his family did was fucking care. You know what I mean? I think I don't know. There you go. But I'm looking forward to season 3. I'm hoping they were like, we need to do some shit to pull up the ratings. Do you think there are any military bases left in the U.S. in The Walking Dead? I don't think they were all wiped out. No, I don't think it's possible for them all to be wiped out. Epic Zombie Killer, hey Ronnie, do you think it was a waste to have Abraham survive his comic death only to be killed by Negan? I think they should have kept him alive. Yeah, it was partially a waste, sure. Mr. Random Guy 781 with the super chat. Huge thank you. Said you're a soundtrack guy. Favorite soundtrack? ? Should also listen to the Mass Effect 2 soundtrack. I love your channel. You a badass motherfucker. Well, thank you. But I'm also going to really disappoint you because I don't have a favorite soundtrack. I mean, maybe if I think about it long enough, I could definitely pick one that's a really cool soundtrack. What was a really cool soundtrack? Fight Club back in the day had a pretty neat soundtrack. I gotta be that's a little tricky though because I didn't like every single thing that was on it. But Fight Club had a cool soundtrack. The reason I said soundtrack guy is because it could be anything. Soundtracks have mad different songs on different genres. You know what I mean? When I was younger, all I listened to were either oldies or hip hop. But hip hop turned so fucking lame, especially nowadays. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Now I only listen to Tupac and older hip hop. Nowadays it is an embarrassment. Just an embarrassment. Anyway, I know there's a soundtrack on top of my mind and I like the what was it? No, not that one. I'm going to come back to that when I think of it. I just listened to Gridlocked, I was going to say, but that had Tupac on it, so. If you could have anyone rule Westeros, who would it be? Jon Snow. Yeah, screw it, I'm picking Jon Snow. Sansa, I'm rooting for it, that's the word I'm looking for, but I don't know, there's part of me that's just like, bitch, please. I still think she needs to prove herself in some way, shape, or form. She started to, but then it was like, not really. With Dany, there was so much of her story in the one season, I feel like they just put her aside to stall her story because it was moving too fast, faster than the other stories. So for a huge part of Dany's story, I could care less. So not her. Oh, I don't know if I said thank you. Thank you, Mr. Random Guy, for the super chat. I appreciate that. And again, stay tuned. I'm going to think of the soundtrack. I'll let you know which one was a good one. I listened to a lot of them, though. We're talking Casino, Goodfellas, even The Godfather, even ones with instrumentals. Like the Braveheart soundtrack. I listened to that a shitload back in the day. It literally, it could be anything. I listened to all of them. I even listened to the Bodyguard soundtrack. I got it free in the mail from BMG, and then they tried to charge me for like 50 things. I never even signed up for it. I remember because I was like 12 at the time, and I got this free cluster of music, and I was like, oh, this is cool. TLC, the Waterfalls, TLC, there was the Bodyguard soundtrack, something else. I remember showing it to my mom, like, yo, Mom, what is this shit, you know? Because then they sent me a bill like a month later, and my mother got on the phone. She was like, you sent this shit to a 12-year-old. What are you, dumb? Maybe I was 11, something like that. Anyway, Sopranos. I had a disc of Soprano music, too. I think that was probably, I played that a lot. I don't know if it was the official one or the bootleg one, but it was the Sopranos soundtrack disc, and it had so much music from the TV show, and I love that one. I am watching Sopranos right now in season 2, and I think it is trash. What are the best seasons of Sopranos? And if you don't like season 2, stop now. Stop now. The very beginning is some of the best, absolutely some of the best. And if you don't like it, stop. Are you a fan of Clementine? Yeah. J Money 22, off topic question, but have you seen the show Shameless? No, I haven't. I know what it is. I just haven't got around to watch it yet. It's a comedy, right? Maybe a comedy drama. I need some iced tea. Do you think they should have used... Wait. Do you think they shouldn't have used the scene from Season 5 for the Sasha and Maggie flashback in the Season 7 finale? It's a scene where they are watching the sunset and Maggie has short hair. I don't know what you mean. Does it matter? They used it. I thought it was fine. I don't know what you mean, though. They shouldn't have used it. Are you talking about because Maggie has short hair and it wasn't consistent? I don't see that as a real moment. You know what I mean? I just see that as like a symbolism moment. Like visual symbolism. I don't see that as that is from that moment in time. You know what I mean? I see that as for symbolism. Let me explain maybe. The sunset, them sitting on the tree trunk. I believe they were even dressed how they were back in Season 5. You know what I mean? And that was a moment where they rekindled, in a way, their friendship, their closeness, because in the end of Season 4, or I'm sorry, the mid-season, they started growing a close bond in that second half with Sasha and Maggie being on the road together and going through that filler stuff. But they created a bond, and at that point, after that point in time, I feel like that sunset moment in Season 5, after Tyrese died, after Bob died, that was a rekindling that closeness, breaking them both out of that funk. And then the symbolism aspect for her death in Season 7 was bringing them back to that moment, but also with her short hair and kind of coming full circle with how they ended. You know what I mean? Touching on a moment where they essentially came back together, because Sasha was realistically at a moment where she could have splintered off. Either dying, soon, being reckless and dying soon, or just straight up leaving the group, doing her own thing. I mean, it was a real possibility that she could have splintered off from Maggie, and they never could have, continued on with this very close bond that they have, this tight friendship. So I see that as a... symbolism, some full circle type shit, and it's open to interpretation. I don't see that as, oh, they filmed it to look like Season 5, but they fucked up because she has short hair. I don't see it like that, You guys let me know what you think. Is there any character from The Walking Dead that got the wrong casting? Jesus. I like Tom Payne. I like him, but I miss Comic Jesus so much. And you know what? That might not be the casting. I think the tall, rugged mountain man type, yeah, sure, that might be off. But maybe if they wrote him to be a little more like Comic Jesus, I wouldn't feel this way. So I don't know. We'd have to see if it came in, I don't know, because they didn't do it. But right now, I'd have to say he is probably on one of the short lists for wrong casting. I think Beth was casted wrong. I just think the actress didn't bring it. She didn't bring it. Just didn't bring it. Her cry face, the crocodile tears type shit, it just didn't work for me. Some of the moments, and I don't know if it's the direction or the acting, but like for example, where Noah goes and gets beaten. She's in this area, she doesn't know these people. They took somebody and it's all friendly, and he's going to get beat. He's going to get beat, And she is in a doorway freaking out, trying to get past, I guess, maybe. It looked like she was on a treadmill. Oh no, stop, but I'm not really trying to go anywhere. And then she just scrunches up her face all the time. So I feel like certain characters like that, it was bad casting, but it's a short list for wrong casting. But I blame that on the fans though, because I feel like they had a character that was just supposed to be a background character, and then so many fans were, woo, yay, and then they gave the character more story, and it ended up being probably one of the least liked side stories in the world of The Walking Dead. I think it's split down the middle. A lot of fans just do not like the Hospital Beth story arc. How many throat bites does Rick have left in him? A lot. What are your thoughts on Cliff Curtis landing the role on James Cameron's Avatar movies? I think that's cool. I mean, he's been doing movies for a long time, so I don't think it's anything different or weird. Yeah, I know. Everyone who gets a different role, we say they die. Sasha, she got a role on Star Trek, and then we say, once the fans find out about that, we say, oh, it must be because she got killed. But Norman Reedus, he has his own TV show. He's in movies. He's legit in movies. Legit has his own TV show. And now he's starring in a video game where he has to do motion capture, that Death Stranding. So for me, I think it puts it at 50-50. Cliff Curtis could definitely do the movies and the TV show. Yeah, absolutely. But if he does die, I have to say, they better fucking wow us, because that makes no sense at all. Like, at all. To have this family unit and then to chip away that part of the family unit, it's just like, did you change your minds? That's just no. Anyway, Thomas, when you play season 2 and 3 of The Walking Dead, will you have a face cam on so we can see your reactions? Yes. I might offend some people here. I don't know about the video game world, but I think it is fucking stupid to do video game, videos on YouTube and not do a face cam. I just think that maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's just not there for me. Like, I think it's mind-numbingly, ridiculously dumb when people do reaction videos with no face cams. And there's some YouTube channels that, like, I like the people's thoughts and opinions. A lot of maybe different movie channels, and they never do face cams to begin with. I think the no face cam thing annoys me for multiple reasons. Like, people who make a big deal out of face reveals, and I don't know. I just especially when you make a big deal about your own, and it's just like, just fucking get it over with and knock it the fuck off. And then but yeah, no face cams with reaction video. Like, a reaction video is supposed to show your reaction. You do a reaction video and you're just talking, and I feel the same way about video games. Like, I just think it's dumb. It's just flat dumb to talk over a video game, I don't know. It gives me a headache thinking about. So yes, I will do a face cam. Joe Cool, will the communities use walkie-talkies to listen to the Saviors' conversation during the war, or will it backfire at one point because the Saviors find out and set up one of the groups. I think that is absolutely possible. I think they have a walkie-talkie, so yeah, they're going to use it. But I also think that because they have it, now you open up a potential part in the story where you can turn it around on them and create friction. So yeah, that's possible. Garcia, how do you think Walter White from Breaking Bad would fare in The Walking Dead if he was in Rick's group? If he didn't have cancer, do you think he would be much of a problem? I don't think he would be a problem at all. Hey Ronnie, I mean, he's real intelligent, so I think he would definitely come up with some creative shit. He would be like the Eugene with balls, Hey Ronnie, do you think Rick needs to die for the show to end? No, I think the show ends if Rick dies. But no, I don't think he needs to die for it to end. I think they can end it with him still alive. It all depends on, is it good or not, the ending. They can have him alive, they can have him dead, as long as it's good. Your thoughts on The Hound in Season 7? I have no clue what you're talking about. The Hound Season 7. You mean from Game of Thrones? I'm lost, bro. You're gonna have to clue me in on that one. I know the character. I know what you mean. I don't get your question. Monty, do you see Rick using any weapon or walkers or mass destruction, car bombs, walker pits, some off the warfare that he has encountered as a leader and a cop? He has had some play. My God, that was difficult to read. Yeah, sure. I think he'll use lots of different shit. Absolutely. I can get down with that. Epic. Hey, Ronnie, do you think we'll see Negan and Telltale's The Walking Dead? Ugh, that's rough. Possibly. It all depends on the timeline and what they're doing in the next season. Monty Big Boar. Who will die first, Rick or Daryl? Definitely Daryl. Definitely Daryl. If Rick died before Daryl, I would quit and never watch The Walking Dead again. That's the moment where the people behind the scenes, they shit the bed, they shit themselves, and it's all about money. 100%. There's no more passion in it whatsoever. Yeah. Jon Snow rules. Ronnie, what are your early predictions for The Walking Dead issue 200, season 12? Oh, fuck no. I don't have predictions for that. I thought you meant like issue 200 predictions for the comic. But you want me to take issue 200 predictions for the comic that hasn't even came out yet and then predict it, translate it into the show? No, fuck no. Sometimes I feel like our fan base is so impatient. I'm fucking lost. Will eventually die in season 12 later on. Carl, someone else can continue. The actor doesn't have it right now to carry the show. That would never work. It would get canceled, and it would just it wouldn't get canceled. I'm sorry. Let me dial that. Let me walk that back. It would continue to lose subscribers as they milked it dry over the next 5 years before they fully canceled it. But that would be the end of it. And again, Carl Chandler Riggs, this is a kid who has potential. Everyone has the potential to step their shit up. But as of right now, if you were to say, here's a kid who's going to take over the show, and not even based on his talent, but based on the fan base alone, they couldn't hold it, because there's a huge chunk of the fan base that would be pissed about that didn't think he can handle it, But if you take that, Carl, and you have the story flow where the actor steps it up, he blows everyone away, becomes a massive badass, then you can usher into that part of the story. But until that happens, that's just not going to happen. And if it does, it'll be the beginning of the end. Q&A, do you think Dwight might kill Simon? I think that's possible, sure. Will we see the Shipyard Bandits in Fear again? I hope not. They were part of one moment that I still, to this day, when I watch the scene, I'm baffled by who wrote it. I'm going to look it up who wrote that. Remember Jack tells her, they'll just leave you. They left the others, they'll leave you too. It's like, yo, dumbass. Those are her family, right? That's her family. Like, she didn't just meet them, you stupid fuck. That's her family. Kurt Cobain, hey Ronnie, how do you get out of the friend zone if it's possible? If you find yourself in a friend zone, it's already too late. Ditch the bitch and go do something else. You'll be out of the friend zone in no time. Where are we at here? Curtis Luthen, I don't know how to say that. Do you think that Kirkman has beaten Rick down too much? Lost hand, wife, baby shot, countless friends died, da 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 da. Now second wife dies, etc. No, I don't. I thought you were gonna go to his physical ailments, you know, and I think, yeah, I think I know, I see what I think he's doing with, you know, the hand, the leg, and leading back home at the base, and I do like that. But at the same strength, I think we could have gotten more of a Rick who is physically capable, you know, for a longer period of time. I think it's too soon to cripple him. I think they could have injured him, and they could still have him going through some therapy, you know, for his leg or his cartilage or whatever they do. I read a little write-up on it before, but I forget it by now. But whatever, as long as you keep it, you know, you're working it out, keeping it loose and this, that, and the third. And then later on down the line, you know, beat him down physically, and he just stays in the base and leads. Because you need to keep the option open for him to travel and keep with that realism. But no, as far as losing people in his life, no. You can do twice as much, and I'm good. Thomas. Okay, last one before I shut the fuck up. Speaking of Death Stranding, whenever the game comes out, do you plan on playing it? As long as it looks good. Right now, it looks weird just to look weird. Once it comes together and I see that it looks fun, I'll play it. Ronnie, do you know who Sam Underwood is? And what do you think of his fear casting? Is he bit typecast as far as the crazy freaks he's played in Dexter and The Following? Sam Underwood. Wait, Dexter and The Following. Sam Underwood. That sounds familiar. I watched Dexter and The Following. I don't know. Do you know who Sam Underwood is? Who is Sam Underwood? Let's take a look. As far as being typecast, though, wait, hold on. Oh, when did the sound go out? Is the sound good now? Fucking hell. Yeah, I looked up the Sam Underwood, and I don't know what you heard, but I said he looks like a psychopath. I looked up his picture. He looks like a psychopath, and no, I was not impressed with. I was not impressed with him in Dexter. Not at all. Not at all. So I hope he does better in Fear. And then somebody asked me if they would do Danny Crouch, no audio. There's a delay. I saw that, but then when I turned it on, there's a delay. So it's on now. I don't know why it did that. When I went and searched that up, it automatically muted my mic. So I might have done that somehow. But somebody asked, Jon Snow or something, you asked about a sequel to The Walking Dead, a sequel TV show. And again, I don't, Ronnie, if The Walking Dead ends in season 12, could it get a sequel series set many years later? I don't understand your question, because if it has the same actors, or at least some of the same actors, why in the world would they have a sequel? They would just continue it. And then if you want different actors, it's not a sequel. It's a a spin-off. It's a companion show. It doesn't have any connection to the other show. So you got to fill me in there. Is there a time skip? Do you mean in 3 years? To put it plain and simple, The Walking Dead will be here in a video game, comic book, movie, show, in one way, shape, or form, in one of those mediums, from now till 50 years from now. I think we're back on track. Ronnie, how do you think Rick will die personally yourself, or who, by what? Thank you very much for the support. I've answered this question I think a million times by now, and the easiest answer is I don't know. I can't answer it because I don't know what the story is going to be like. Here's how hard it is, or here's why it's impossible to give you an answer. I feel an answer I like. Because if you were going to kill Rick now, he's going to die in All Out War, and then it's very different. All Out War ends, and then in the new beginning, led by the other characters, you would have the establishing the communities, and everything's all well and good after the time skip. You'd have the Rick Grimes grave, and everyone's living nice lives, and then the Whisperers are back there. But then if you wanted to kill Rick later on, like during the Whispers, well, then obviously it would be a very different set of circumstances. And then after the Whispers, if you're going to kill Rick Grimes, well, what's going on in that point in time in the story? And then after. So at this point in time, I couldn't tell you because I don't know what the story's like, Ronnie, who is your favorite character? Opie from Sons of Anarchy. Now that the Mega Herd seems to be basically gone, what are your overall thoughts on the Herd attack in Volume 28? I think it was... Now we know what he was trying to do with the Saviors and everything. I think he missed a serious opportunity to have something extremely intense. Let's say they have a battle in the battlefield. The Whisperers have another group, and they send this group mixed in with the Herd into Alexandria. And instead of doing all the Andrea stuff and all the Savior stuff, instead of doing that yet, first have the Beta still leave, but send his group in, but leave with his 3 or 4 guys. Send the group of Whisperers in with the guys, and then start going house to house and murdering people. Make it intense, make it epic, make it scary. I mean, they're stuck in the Herd. Make it complicated and just balls to the wall insane. And then at one point in time, you can have a moment where you got a Whisper, Eugene, they get surrounded. Andrea goes in to get him. It's a knife. You think Andrea's going to get knifed. No, boom, she goes down, ends up killing the Whisperer, but there's all walkers everywhere. She's hitting them, da-da-da-da-da. She busts out of the Herd, grabs Eugene also. Big. She's doing a badass bitch moment, yanks Eugene out of the Herd. They turn around, and then, she's bit. Do some crazy shit like that. I think they missed, I don't know. I think they missed something. I don't know. I think they missed it. Yeah, they messed it up. I don't know. It was good, and I see where they're going, but I feel like they could have had a fucking awesome moment. Joe Cool, do you think Carol will be opposed to Maggie fighting in the war, or will she completely understand Maggie's desire to avenge Glenn? Yeah, I don't think no. I think Maggie's gonna say, I think Carol's gonna be fine with it, considering she might give her, express her concerns and stuff. Ronnie Q&A, what are your thoughts on the whole Joe gang and the Rick losing his shit at the end with him? You talking about back in season 4? My thoughts? I loved it. Just wait until he gets his part. And he's like, oh shit, no one heard the last 3 minutes. Yeah, that sucks. I had to repeat it. I talked longer about, The Walking Dead and whatever, but a good minute and a half was trying to understand a question because I was like, wait, what? So you didn't miss much. Kayla, do you think Fear needs more main characters? Yeah, I think they need more likable characters doing stuff that's not dumb as shit. Absolutely. Supervids. Dwight saves Maggie. Daryl sees this can be very interesting for the story. Thoughts? Sure, that could work. But I feel like Dwight doesn't need to save Maggie from Simon. I mean, I feel like that's a waste of Simon, Do something big with Simon. They might not, but do something big with him. Dwight can save Maggie with any old savior. It doesn't matter. Bring up some throwaway savior. As long as Daryl sees him save her. You know what I mean? I think that's all that matters. Or you could do an intense moment. Just popped in my head. Man, I think this would be so awesome because now it takes the realism and the tension and suspense in that moment, and it just breaks Daryl's heart. Again, in that moment, Maggie's at a point where she's about to be overtaken. I don't know. Let's do it in close fight. Guns away. I don't want to explain anything because now we got to build up a bigger story. Let's run through this quick. Daryl's running to Maggie. Maggie's in danger. A bunch of saviors there. Daryl knows he's not going to get there in time. He's too far away. He's 20, 25 feet away, and he's coming. No bolts left in his crossbow. And do swell the music. This is an emotional moment. Maggie's fighting him off, but she's going to lose. Absolutely going to lose. Daryl's 25 feet away, 20 feet away, 15 feet away, and here it comes. The blade is going right for Maggie. A savior's going to stab her, and then a bolt goes right through the guy's head, and then you see Dwight attack the other guy that's attacking Maggie, and Dwight saves the day just at a moment where just 2 seconds ago Daryl has tears in his eyes running towards the situation. He knows he's about to see her die and he can't get there fast enough. He did the thing with Glenn and now he can't even save Maggie. She's going to die right in front of him and he wasn't quick enough to get there. Do something like that. I think that would be intense. Forget about Simon. You have a scene like that, man, you could again polish it. Don't just take that and say, oh, that's polish it a little bit, make it intense and suspenseful, and I think you'd have something cool there. Jon Snow, I meant a sequel show where it's set a decade after The Walking Dead ends, with Rick's demise and Carl in the lead of the sequel. I don't know how Chandler would carry a show though. Well, here's the thing, again, is that a sequel? They could just continue, that could be a new season. You know what I mean? I think a lot of fans would be like, why is this going on? We don't get sequel TV shows much, or maybe that would be a new thing. I know they have, the CSI this, the CSI that, bringing shows off and on, but I just think, no. Again, if he could carry the show, I think it should be a new season. I don't know about a sequel season, but yeah, only because it's a TV show, and I don't know. Would they take time off, maybe a couple years? Kayla McKinney, do you think Fear needs more? Oh, we already did that one. For Fear, how would you like to see Daniel Salazar come back in season 3 if he comes back? At this point, I don't care. Just bring him back. And I say that frustrated because everyone's just coming back. They're just meeting up. And I don't say that as frustration that they shouldn't meet up because I think the characters are better off, in the story together. I say that frustrated because they never should have split up in the first place. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Ronnie, what do you think we'll see a crossover with Fear the Walking Dead or The Walking Dead? No, I don't think there should be a crossover ever. Crimson Vusa, do you think your Negan and Maggie comic prediction could still happen? I think there's a possibility. Yeah, sure. Ronnie, wait, what? When will the Whisperers be reintroduced in the comic series? At this point in time, leave them. Let them come back in 10, 20, 30 issues from now, just when we least expect it. You're Ronnie, when do you think Beta will return? Oh, a lot of people are asking that. How about when the group goes to Ohio? We get so focused on the big reveal, and then we get the big reveal, and then turn the next page, and Beta's back. It has to be something, where we're focused on one thing, and then boom, they give us that out of nowhere. How will Negan react to Simon's death? He'll yell. I don't think he'll cry or get emotional. I think he'll just yell. Or be like, damn, Curtis. Maybe he might not even do that much. Do you think there will be a confrontation between Beta and Eugene's Ohio group? Yeah, I think it's possible. It depends. I think right now they got Beta, off to the side in case Rick's story's not as interesting. While they're off with the Ohio group, you can bring Beta in real quick and have a confrontation, and then that'll, give that story some interest. Something interesting happening, Could we find out the radio group? We're looking for some Q&As. Remember, guys, Q&A first thing in your... And since the mic went out, I'm going to add a few minutes on here, but we really got to... Yeah, it's 1 in the morning. We got to shut her down. Hey, just passed by, saying hi. Slept over, missed the game. Watching it now. Oh, come back later, bro. Ronnie, how tall are you? I'm guessing 5'10". No, I'm 5'9". Pretty damn close, though. Ronnie is Beta, secret leader of the Ohio group, since we don't know who he really is. Yeah, sure, I agree with that. Can Beta be a part of another community? That's why he covers his face and doesn't let anyone who sees it. But here, Super Vids, what point would that make? And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm saying, think about it, really. If Beta is from a different group, a different community, nobody knows that. The Whisperers don't know that. I mean, they don't know what the groups look like. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. For him to cover his face, he needs to either be scarred or maybe he was popular, very popular before the world fell. At this point in time, I haven't heard another logical reasoning behind that. I don't know. I kind of feel like... Kirkman might have wrote himself into a corner if there's not something. And if he's scarred, it's got to be just like the top here, something that, and then the way they live and they rape and they don't give a fuck. Does it matter if you're scarred? I don't know. And as far as him being popular, I think that is something else good. If he was someone who was very recognizable, maybe he was a government person, maybe he was somebody like a vice president, well, not vice president, but you know what I mean, somebody who was, Beta's Donald Trump, you never know, some shit like that, and then he would cover his face because his hair will give him away. Everyone will recognize that hair, right? Christy. What one thing do you want to see the most in Fear this season? One thing I want to see the most in Fear? Let's see. Besides characters not splitting off from each other, one thing I want to see the most. Fuck the people. I want to see the zombies, From the trailer, I'm hoping they're hiding it from us, but I want to see why it's scary to live in a world full of the dead. Look we got Fear of the Walking Dead, and season 1 had interesting moments, but they unleashed a stadium full of zombies into an area they were fucking breaking into, no fear, no tension, no suspense. And then they had a moment where in the hallway with Nick, I thought it would get really suspenseful. And I felt like they dropped the ball on that a little bit. Still good, but it could have been one of the most memorable moments in the whole series, probably in both shows. They had an opportunity to do something incredible. And then after, they made the escape with some interesting stuff, some tiny suspenseful fighting. But at the end, we knew a lot of them, if not most, were going to get away. And they did, one death. But then season 2 comes, and for almost the whole season, zombies ain't shit. I mean, the whole season you're walking around with the zombies. So the one thing I want the most in Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 is for some zombies to fuck shit up for a change instead of just being, I don't want to see no asshole army guy like in the trailer. I don't care about him. I would rather watch one of the characters, make their way through a creepy, dark alley in a city, nobody's around, and he's being so quiet because he doesn't know if there's a mob of walkers around the corner or not. And then you hear a thing clinging, you see shadow, you hear shambling feet, just the dry concrete, that style, shit like that, having him go in and out of buildings. I would rather watch that than argue and fight with some asshole at a community that they're at. You know what I mean? I'm hoping because we saw it in the trailer, it'll be quick. So will Morales come back? This is a real question of all time. No, I don't think he should. I think that's just ridiculous. Can Beta be a part of another? Oh yeah, we already went past that one. Ronnie, will you be reviewing Fear the Walking Dead this season? Yes, I will. Ronnie, who do? Sons of Anarchy series review? I might. But here's the thing. I wouldn't just shit out a review. I would have to. I just looked at the clock and I was like, yeah, I wonder if my fucking neighbors can hear me. I wonder if they can. Then again, they didn't at the old place. Anyway, where am I at? Oh, series review. Here's the thing. I wouldn't just shit out a season or a review. I would feel like I'd have to go back and rewatch it. You know what I mean? And in order to do that, I don't have the time, you know, and when I do, it's going to be a while from now. I would like to put it that way, but I don't know if I'd be able to do that the way I'd want to do it, you know, and give an honest, in-depth review of the whole season. We could talk about how I feel, but it's been a while. I probably missed some stuff. Yeah, we got to wrap this up, man. Shark Striker. I know there's a delay, so we're going to wrap this up in a few minutes. Yeah, let's give it 4 minutes. Whenever Morgan dies, who will be affected more, Carol or Rick? Both. Would you prefer the Ohio group to be good or bad? Good. Which character from The Walking Dead do you compare yourself to, relate to the most? Rick, because he's looking out for his kid. I would not listen to anyone at all if I thought it was even close to being a bad idea, so I'd be doing my own thing. Ronnie, who do you miss the most from The Walking Dead? Probably Glenn right now. Ronnie, do you think Daryl will die in All Out War? 50-50. Ronnie, will you be reviewing Fear? Yeah, we did that. Hey Ronnie, do you think Morgan will get a Nicholas from the comic? I think so. No, I think it's definitely a possibility, I should say. Whenever Morgan dies, it will affect Rick or more. These are all questions we've answered 50 times already. Ronnie, serious question. Did you move like the other side of your place? Wait, did you move like to the other side of your place? It's the same apartment complex. That's why down in North Carolina, very different than up north. Up north, it's just double blocks and shit like that. Down in North Carolina, it's apartment complexes. You know what I mean? And they're owned, like you'll have one here, one here, one here, even though they have different names. They're owned by the same companies, so a lot of them have the same management teams or the same painting, the same design, the same structure. But I'm in the same place, so the kitchen's very different. The dining room and the kitchen looks a little similar to what I had before, but this is probably the one thing that looks identical, and it's where I chose to record. I'm going to do the behind the scenes tomorrow. You'll see what I mean. It's very different, yet this looks just like it. Anyway. What was the name of the video on Maggie and Negan prediction? Need to watch it and share, please. I don't know which. You'll never find that right now. The stuff other people are talking about with the Maggie and Negan prediction, there's like 7 different ones. You know, we're talking about the prediction that Maggie will kill Negan. You're talking about the one where Maggie and Negan reunite and see each other. I mean, there's multiple different ones, and they are scattered. There's no way in hell I'd be able to. You know, some of them are months and months old. I just have no idea where they're at. Ronnie, you're funny as fuck. Thank you. What are some other shows you would recommend? Anything I would recommend is probably already being watched. Stranger Things. I mean, I can't recommend anything you're probably not already watching or people already told you to watch, you know. Bloodlines, Stranger Things, I don't know, House of Cards. Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, Dexter, Lost, The Shield. There's one. It's older, but it is freaking awesome. Don't watch anything. Go watch The Shield. Jon Snow. Listen, Jon Snow rules. You asked, Ronnie, did you watch Lost? If so, what are your overall thoughts? I saw your name asking questions. When I answered that, just like half an hour ago. So what the fuck? I liked it. I liked Lost. Epic Zombie. Hey Ron, have you played Grand Theft Auto 5? Yeah, a little bit, tiny bit. What episode will Simon's last day on Earth be? I'm hoping the end of the season. Do you think there's anything that could top or be more shocking than issue 100 was in Glenn and Andrea comic death? Yeah, I think there's absolutely a lot more potential to have more shocking stuff. Super Vid news on your comic, that's coming soon. And yeah, there's a delay on this, so I'm actually on my way out, but since there's a delay, I'll talk for another minute because I'm watching the timer go down. Ronnie, check out Rick and Morty. No, there's no way I'm watching anything right now. I was in the middle from the last time we talked about Rick and Morty. I moved. I've been moving my stuff solo. We got movers and stuff, but you can't rely on movers. They don't go as fast as you want them to do, you know. If it's yeah, so I just do it. So I didn't have any free time to scratch my ass, let alone watch Rick and Morty. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Ronnie, would Doomsday Kingdom have a villain as big as Negan? Sure, why not? I don't. What do you mean as big? Like the size, or do you mean like a leader? Do you mean as iconic? I can't answer that because what if I make him and no one likes him? Then no, he's not going to be as big. I think they'll have one bigger. Put it that way. Do you think now that Chandler Riggs has graduated, he could put more time into honing his acting? Just by the fact that he graduated, in my opinion, it shows that you know, he's making a plan B. There's just, I mean, that's awesome you graduate, but if you're in acting and you're rich, why the fuck are you even going to school? School don't teach you shit anyway. Anyone who disagrees, you're in absolute denial. I know most of the higher paying jobs I've ever had in my life, I don't use dick that I learned in school for those jobs. They teach you on the job. You learn the craft there, and you're rocking and rolling. All right, I gotta go. Huge thank you to everyone coming in. Do you think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson should be in The Walking Dead? No. He's the wrong, you know, vibe for The Walking Dead. Absolutely, abso-friggin-lutely. But thank you everyone for coming by for the live chat. What else was there? There was something I was gonna say. What the fuck was it? What the fuck? Oh yeah. You know what? Let me pop the chat out and check the super chat. I don't want to miss anyone. We had Bailey, Lisa, and Mr. Random Guy and Danny Crouched. Huge thank you to everyone with the super chat. And also coming up, I do want to do the Patreon soon. I want to do the us doing a live discussion about Patreon rewards, because I want to get the rewards up and going and then see what we got going from there. I know there's, I don't know, there's like some of the rewards, we might not put them into play right away. I know there's some rewards people asked about doing giveaways, giving away the comic, giving away t-shirts, giving away this, giving away that, and I would like to get the thing set up and then slowly go into some of those. I don't want to bite off more than I could chew, set something up and then realize, oh my god, you know, we're giving away all this shit and I can't get to the post office, maybe we can't even print the comic yet, or maybe it's going to be late because of this and that. So yeah, we're going to look into it, but keep in mind, think of some suggestions for the Patreon. I do want to do that video soon. Any ideas for 168? No ideas at all. Idea is just simply dealing with, you know, where were we in 160? Oh, yeah, the death. Here's the thing. I don't know. We'll talk about 168 when it comes. I kind of feel like they brought over the saviors and it was like, ooh, we're big and bad. And then next thing you know, they're helping. It was like, it felt like it was misleading. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll get into that coming up. Thanks for coming by. I'll answer more of your questions in the next live stream. I'm done talking. It's your